Hi guys, it's Amy from Living Your Best Life, starting with our first yoga tutorial pose. Today it's going to be Vrikasana or tree pose. Vrikasana is a standing asana or pose that improves balance, focus, and mental clarity. And the name comes from the Sanskrit Vriska, meaning tree, and asana, meaning pose.
Hi everyone, it's Amy from Living Your Best Life. I'm out here in the sun in our backyard oasis, although it's time to about close the pool down because the leaves are falling and I can't even keep them out of the pool, so that's a fight. But I'm going to try to talk loud enough so you can hear me over the wind and the pool pump. Not too loud out here. Hopefully we don't get any cars coming in, but I wanted to start doing a maybe weekly or bi-weekly tutorial on different yoga poses and how to get into them safely, and some tips and some tricks to get into them, maybe a little bit easier than what you've been taught before, you've learned before. So some helpful hints on different yoga poses. So today I thought I would start with just a simple standing balance pose, tree pose. Vrikasana is the Sanskrit for it, and it's pretty much I wouldn't say it's an easy balance pose or it's an easy yoga pose, but it's a pose that you can modify for anybody to be able to do. Whether you have to use the wall or you're a little more advanced and you can move away from the wall. So I'm going to give a few tips and tricks today on tree pose, Vrikasana. Don't forget to go to our YouTube channel, Living Our Best Life, Pat and Amy, the George clan, Living Waters as well, the George family, to see our next video that we're going to put out. Make sure you click on the bell when you subscribe so that you can get different notifications for when we post new videos for you guys. So again, I'm going to go through some tips on Vrikasana or tree pose. So I always try to work from the floor or the mat up, from the earth up. So you can either do a couple different variations. You can do a kickstand with the foot on the floor and the heel kind of goes on the ankle or the inside of the leg. That would be one. Again, you can do this with the wall or away from the wall. You can go up to the inside of the calf. And yes, I have jeans on, so I'm not in a yoga attire, but I figured I'd come out here and hurry up and do this before I got interrupted with a phone call or anything. So kickstand on the floor, on the inside of the calf. You do not want to go to the inside of the knee because you don't want to push the knee in or out. So you want to bypass the knee, going up to the inside of the thigh if that is an option for you. Or you can go to the front of the thigh. And with the front of the thigh, you can either hold the foot there with one hand, or you can press the foot into the thigh and the thigh into the foot, which is what you want to do with any of these. If you have the kickstand down here, you want to have the legs active, foot into the ankle, into the leg, as well as the leg into the foot. If you're into the calf, same thing, foot into the calf, calf into the foot. If you're into the thigh, same thing, thigh into the foot, foot into the thigh. Or vice versa, or same thing if you're on the front of the thigh into the foot, as well as the foot into the front of the thigh. Once you figure out where you want to go with the foot, of course you're going to do this on both sides, right and left, but once you figure out where you're going to go with the foot, I think I hear the high school band playing. If you hear drums in the background, we're not far from our kids' high school. So once you figure out where you want to take the foot, to the floor, to the calf, to the thigh, or the front of the thigh, and there's a couple pointers that you want to kind of be mindful and aware of. So no matter where you're at, foot, calf, thigh, front of the thigh, I'm going to go into the thigh. Move my jeans out of the way so I can get into the pose good. Once you figure out where you want to take your foot, then I want you to start working on these pointers. So first pointer would be, figure out where you want to take the foot. Second would be, if you figure out if you need the wall or not. Third would be, find your drishti. So I have sunglasses on. But find your drishti. One point in the room or outside that's not moving. So it never wants to be a person. It could be a spot on the floor, the wall, the ceiling, wherever you're taking your gaze. And you want to focus on that one drishti to help keep your balance. And it truly, truly, truly does work. So then you find your drishti. Then the next point is you want to try to keep your hips squared off to the front of the room or wherever you're at. So hips are squared off, kind of like headlights on a car or anything that is balanced in the front. Excuse me. Then once you get there, you want to, of course, be focused on your balance. You've got all this going on. Then you want to try to keep your hips squared, meaning up and down. So you want them to be square to the front of the room or wherever you're at, but you want them to be square up and down, meaning you don't want one to be up in the air and one to be down. You want those hips to be square in all directions. So you don't want to drop one hip or raise one hip. You want them to be square. So even if you have to put your hands on them to figure out where your hips are at and what they're feeling like. Then from there, you want to, again, make sure those legs are active. Make sure that your knee is not pointing out, even if you have the foot on the floor as a kickstand, or make sure it's not going all the way back. And again, if you check those hips, you're going to pretty much know that the knee is where it needs to be, because if the hips are in line, the knee should be in the line. Then from there, you can take your hands wherever you want to take them. So a lot of people like heart center, which if you're heart center, make sure you make those arms really active, pushing the hands into one another. You can take the arms up high to the sky. Arms are active. Bring the pinkies in, thumbs out. You can always interlace the fingers here. Push them up. Some people like to take the arms out, especially if you're using a wall. Some people like to take the arms behind. You can interlace the fingers behind the back. Some people even like to take the gaze up. That kind of makes it a little tricky. I start to wobble when I do that. And some people even like to do what we call reverse namaste or prayer hands. And I'll turn around so you can see this. Let me do the other leg so I'm a little balanced. So you do prayer hands and flip them around up the spine. Again, arms are active, hips are still squared, legs are active. Or you can do this. To open the heart, you can interlace the fingers, open the heart, maybe take the gaze up. So again, the hands, it all depends on what you're feeling. If you want to open the heart, open the heart. If you need more balance, maybe you open the arms up like a T or a cross. Whatever is more comfortable for you. So this is your first tutorial, if I could spit that out, on an asana or a yoga pose. Today was tree pose, Vrikasana. Of course, you always want to make sure when you're doing balance poses, no matter where you're at, that your feet are grounded. And that's great to take it off of the mat as well, to always try to find some grounding in life. And just to be positive about it. If you fall out of the pose, get back into it. Nobody's perfect. I fall out of stuff all the time, on and off of my mat. And the main thing is that you get back up and you try again. So I hope this tutorial helps you today. Remember, don't forget to go subscribe to Livin' Our Best Life, our YouTube channel. Hit the bell after you subscribe to get those notifications when we post a new tutorial or a new vlog or we're traveling somewhere, or Pat and I and the kids always have something going on. And so go subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications. And until we meet again, have a wonderful day and be blessed. And remember to get on your mat and try to find some balance in life.
Hey guys, I wanted to leave you with some benefits of tree pose of Vrikasana. Now you can see at the top here, this spelling is different than the very first spelling that I shared with you, which is just a little bit different in the Sanskrit. So tree pose improves balance and stability in the legs, strengthens the ligaments and tendons of the feet, strengthens and tones the entire standing leg up to your butt, assists the body in establishing pelvic stability, and strengthens the bones of the hips and the legs due to the weight-bearing nature of the pose. It's an awesome pose. Here's some pictures of my fellow yogis, friends, family, and teachers at Living Water striking their tree pose. Here LaDonna is in Om in the outfield at PNC Park striking her beautiful tree pose. My sister is coming up here, and she was on vacation here striking her tree pose. She actually has a photography business called Mean Tree Photography. Here's my friend Melody. We went on a trip to New York City, and right behind her is the Statue of Liberty in her tree pose. Stunning. Here is my friend Melanie striking her beautiful pose at Guilford Lake. And my sister on the beach striking her tree pose once again. And here I am, photographed by my sister at Mean Tree Photography, doing my tree pose. Again, don't forget to subscribe to Living Our Best Life, and we'll catch you again on our next video.